And
Just breathe.
we are live. All right, sports update. Adrian, Reid was good.
What's good?
Another episode. Okay, so we just wrapped up the NBA draft round 2 today. A lot to dive into as far as the draft, but we're gonna start it off with the Pistons. 5 overall. They shocked us. They took Ron Holland 5th overall. Young guy, 18. He'll be 19 years old next month in July. So Reid, I know you had a lot to say about the Pistons taking Ron Holland, man. So what's your take on the Pistons draft?
Yeah, I think I was a little more heated last night about it than I have to mull it over. So I don't know if I'm going to blow up completely, but I just think, I mean, obviously it's Trajan's first go around to the draft. He's a rookie GM or whatever you want to call him. But they don't have a head coach, so that was a little bizarre to me. I mean, a lot of people say if Holland had a 3-point shot, he would have gone first overall in this draft. I would have ultimately liked for them to trade back, but I don't think that was an option because, one, I think Holland probably would have gone before they, someone probably would have traded up to get him, or they would have gone too far back where they couldn't get him. And it's also just not a draft worth trading back. Nobody's going to really offer you anything worthwhile. So the things I don't like about it, again, I think he's very similar to Asar. I know him and Asar had very comparable stats, although one was overtime elite, the other one was G League, but when you needed a guy that can shoot, and they didn't really, go after a need for that, they went after a guy who was more athletic, more versatile, more defensive side of the ball, athletic, like they said, jump out of the gym, plays above the rim. Again, it's everything that Asar gives you. So, I mean, he is a strong guy. He's 6'6", 200, big wingspan. He is very athletic. I mean, they brought in Fred Vincent for a reason. If he can help him, get that shot up and he can get in the low 30s to begin with, that would be great. A lot of people are also saying smaller sample size because he was hurt. So maybe his 3-pointer could have gone up, later or during the season if he wasn't hurt in the beginning of it. So, yeah, I'm not going to blow up on the pick right now. Obviously, I don't think he's going to start right away unless he really blows everybody away in summer league and during camp and everything like that. Definitely think Asar's going to start over him. We got to wait to see what's going to happen. I texted you guys. I really got to see what happens on July 30th. That's when free agency opens. I'll wait until the Monday, maybe Sunday. They won't be doing as many deals on a weekend, or maybe that's when they'll get them done. So I wasn't in love with the pick. I would have, a guy who's older who went way later was Connect, but if you could have traded back and maybe got Connect, I think I would have liked him a little bit better on the shooting side of the ball. A guy like Dillingham, after I was looking at it, I would have liked him a little bit more because at this point, I think you should trade you should trade Jaden Ivey, and you could have used him next to Cade. He shot the ball amazingly. Obviously, Reed Shepard went too early, so you weren't going to get him unless you were going to trade away Ivy. I just think overall it was what they wanted to do. They went with the guy that they like best. I can't knock them for that. I just don't like that he's so similar to a player that you already have. I just hope he pans out at this point.
Yeah, thinking what Reid said. Last night I liked the player Ron Holland, but I like the player, but I didn't like the fit for where he went, and I think right now where the Pistons at, it's not the best spot, but thinking about it today, waking up, I kind of had a couple of different thoughts. I mean, he's 18. He'll be 19 next week. So that's good. The sample size shooting threes wasn't a lot. He only shot 44 attempts. So I mean, that's not a huge sample size. So that gives me some pause, maybe that he can improve. And then the Pistons brought in that's supposed to be like a czar shooting coach, Fred Vincent. So he's helped Lonzo. He's helped Bi. So maybe he can do some things. So that can show me something. I mean, he averaged almost 20 points a game in the G League. I think what Trajan did was he wasn't confident in the ability to get a guy who can help Cade right now. Maybe a dog connect, but his ceiling's lower. Trajan went for the higher floor. I mean, the higher ceiling than the higher floor. And I believe he went and took the guy he felt like had the highest ceiling in the draft. And if Ron can work out, he could possibly be maybe a Bridges, Jaylen Brown type of guy. Not saying it's going to happen, but that's some of the comparisons I've been hearing. And I like his athleticism. What I will say that he's better than Asar right now is being able to put the ball. I believe he has more moves to score the basketball than Asar does. So I think his upside, he can be better than Asar, but we'll we'll see what happens. But I've come to the point where I realize we got to give Trajan a chance. He's working with nothing right now, man. So he's starting from the bottom right now. So I got it. We kind of got to give him a chance. I think he's gonna do an okay job. But we'll wait and see. But you can see he's starting to hire guys in the front office that he believes is gonna help him fix his weaknesses and whatever needs to be around him. So I mean, I'm gonna give him a chance. It's not a lot to work right now. The Pistons don't give him a lot. They don't have a lot of assets. I believe they're gonna have to get some contracts that we don't like. We still gotta get a head coach. But overall, I mean, the pick's growing on me, and I'm gonna give it a chance, and we're gonna see what happens, man.
So Reid, what did you think about the Pistons' second round pick?
Yeah, Bobby Klitman. He was from he by way of Sweden, but plays in the NBL in the Australian League. I mean, again, he wasn't somebody that was crazy statistically. He's definitely a project. He's someone that you expected to go in the second round. There was inklings about midway before the draft that he could possibly go in the first round. He's kind of the same way. He's an athletic freak. He does well, defensively, but the thing that he's really good at that I think that I wanted him picked for most, and what I think the Pistons finally picked him for, was that he is a pretty good 3-point shot. I think he shot somewhere like 37+% in the Australian League. So I just liked him for, guys in the second round, unless you know that they're going to hit. I mean, like, look at Joker. He came out of the second round, but nobody knew he was going to be this good. So you kind of hope and pray at that point. And if he can become that, 4 3-and-D wing guy that you need. I mean, he's big. He's 6'9", 6'10", something like that. So he's rangy. Yeah, and his shot looks great. So, again, you have this 3-point, the shooting doctor, I think they call him, Fred Vinson. Yeah. Like Adrian alluded to, Lonzo, B.I., Herb Jones. There was a few other on the list that I saw. He bumped them up by, anywhere from 7 to 12% from 3. So if he can get them working and they can, he can – shoot pretty well. Maybe he can come in and be that 4 for them, be that rangy 4 3-and-D guy. Duran hopefully can get better defensively, but I just liked him as kind of the high floor, high ceiling type of guy. I mean, low floor, high ceiling type of guy. I'm sorry, where he maybe he just ends up falling off and he's not the guy that you think he is, or he becomes that that 3-and-D Michael Porter Jr. or almost like a Aaron Gordon type for the Pistons.
Okay, cool. Yeah, they the Ron Holland pick was kind of interesting to me. You draft a guy you didn't even work out. Like that was kind of weird to me, especially at the 5th pick. I like the guy that went right after him, the guy from France that went to the Hornets. What is it?
Salon.
Yeah, that kid looked pretty good. I liked him. I liked it. Connect. I would even have liked to see the way Connect was falling, somehow get back into the first round and try to leave out this draft with Holland and Connect. I think that would have been, if he could have pulled that off, if he could have did it. I know we don't got a lot of pieces to necessarily move up like that, but those are some things I would have liked to see. So as far as the coach, Adrian, how soon do you think they find a new head coach? Do you think they get it done before free agency?
I would like to realistically, but we don't even have an update on who they've interviewed. We've got the idea of guys, but they haven't told us anything. So for them to have a coach by Sunday, I don't think it happens. I would like to, but I don't see it happen until as early as possibly next week to see who it's going to be. So I'm thinking they're going to probably zero in on James Borrego because he didn't get the Cleveland job. If they're going for a guy who's established and already been in the league, so like we talked about last week, maybe Sean Sweeney from Dallas. Sam Cassell would be a long shot, but I still would give him a call and just get him to say no. But I definitely don't think they'll have it done by Sunday.
Yeah, realistically, Sean Sweeney or Adrian have to help me out on it. Who's the guy that the Miami Heat assistant?
Chris Quinn.
Yeah, Chris Quinn. Those are like my 2 ideal guys, I think. I mean, they just hired that guy from Dallas who's the senior.
Dennis Lindsay, I believe his name is.
Yeah, they just hired him, so maybe he can get Sweeney over here. Those are my 2 main guys. I don't know. I guess maybe it's just the Lions fan in me with the Bob Quinn and Patricia thing. I just don't really want Borrego here. He could barely take that Charlotte team had more talent than the Pistons, and they still had, a pretty abysmal team. So I don't know if I would really love to have him here. I mean, maybe he, comes in and is that Dan Campbell and fits the culture that Trajan wants to put together. But I don't see, him being the coach that's going to take you to the next level. I'd rather have a guy. Again, we talk about Sam Cassell all the time. I know that's Raj's guy to begin with, but I think he's going to try and run it back, like Raj keeps saying. Adrian said, I'd call him and just hear him say no. And if he says no, all right, well, it was worth a try. Not okay. I want to take this young core and see what I can do and maybe build this team like I had with the Celtics. So ultimately, I want Sweeney or the Heat assistant, but I just want anybody but Borrego. And I agree with Adrian. I want it to be by Sunday, but I don't expect it to be by Sunday at all because I would like the coach to have some sort of input on what they do in free agency and what guys because Trajan said he's willing to trade guys to get pieces and build a war chest. So I'm perfectly fine with that. I mean, if you keep the right guys, that's okay. But ultimately, I think they won't be a hire by Sunday.
I do think Trajan, what he does is kind of try to build this team in the form of how the New Orleans Pelicans was built with some athletic wing guys, some size, some athleticism, some younger guys. So kind of look for the mold of that. Like they have Herb Jones, they have BI. So we'll see what happens. But I kind of like his confidence. I kind of like some of the things he said thus far. So we'll see. But I think Trajan, and Tom Gore stays out the way. And I believe it can be done because look what's happening in New York right now as James Dolan is finally getting out the way. So hopefully Gores can do that and just let the basketball guys do basketball things, man.
Got David in the building. David says, I like Juwan Howard for next coach of the
Absolutely
Pistons.
not, David.
I said not having a coach by Sunday would be the last straw. I don't think I would ever watch another Pistons basketball game again.
I think Juwan Howard's already on a NBA staff right now, isn't he?
He's probably on the Lakers staff, if I had to guess.
No, I think he might have he could have went back to Miami.
I don't know. It's not even a Michigan thing. It's Juwan Howard thing. He had a terrible attitude. He was getting himself in trouble, and he seemed checked out the last season. So I don't want any part of Juwan Howard on my Pistons team. But to be funny, it would be a total Pistons thing to hire him. Yeah, but it would be a total Pistons thing to go hire him.
Yeah, and I think David was just trolling there. Come on now. I don't think he was serious.
Juwan Howard is – I forgot about this. He's joining the Nets as an assistant coach. That was like a month ago.
Okay. The Nets also got Travis Bader as an assistant coach too from OU.
Oh yeah, good move.
They're supposed to be re-signing Claxton $100 million deal.
That's cool. That way the Pistons don't gotta invest and give him $25 million a year.
They got rid of my guy Wiseman.
I would like if the Pistons maybe called Brooklyn to try to see if they could poach Cam Johnson because that's who I believe they should have signed last season. Gotta give him some shooting and a decent vet. So I don't think it's gonna happen, but.
Again, like Raj said, I mean, I'd love for that to happen, but I don't think they have. I mean, you probably have to send like Ivy or Asar or someone, and like and like a few picks. I can't believe that they got 5 picks for Mikal Bridges. That was wild to me.
I'm trying to win. They got 4 of them are unprotected, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. They're going for the gusto now. The window's open. You gotta go for it. So
yeah. So with that trade, Reid, are the Knicks a serious threat to Boston? They re-signed Anunoby as well.
Yeah, I think they're the second best team in the East. I think that they're more of a threat to the 76ers than they are to Boston. I think Boston still, if they keep everybody together, I still think Boston is too much of a wagon to be beat by the Knicks. That is still a good team. The only problem is, don't shoot yourself in the foot, but Tibbs runs those guys into the ground, and Mikal Bridges has played, I think they said he's played one of the most consecutive starts in all of NBA as of recently. I don't know how many times it was, but just Tibbs runs those guys for, 40, 46 plus minutes a game. So that's how Randall got hurt. That's how Robinson got hurt. It's not great, but I mean, I still think they're the second best team in the East right now.
Yeah. Bridges is at 461 straight games. That's double. The next closest is Harrison Barnes at 206 consecutive games. So that's impressive, especially in today's NBA with the load management. These guys not playing, but I definitely think it improves the Knicks right now. I would definitely have the Knicks as the number 2 team in the East right now on paper. I think Philly can easily pass them if they can get Embiid and Maxey a little help, another scoring guy. We'll see what they do.
McCann could be that. I mean, he shot well at Duke.
I know he drafted. He did. I don't know if he's ready to step in that role and really take on that bona fide role in his rookie year. But I think they need to go add another veteran guy. But the Knicks on the wing, they're trying to match what the Celtics did. But they're probably going to lose Hartenstein, which I think is going to be a big loss because he gave him a lot of energy and toughness off the bench. And Mitchell Robinson's been known to be hurt a lot, so I think they still need to add a little bit of size because I don't think they have anybody that can match up with Porzingis on the perimeter.
I mean, they don't have anybody. I don't think they have anybody on that roster that's like over 6'9". It's Julius Randle 6'10", maybe. I don't know. They're going to play him at the 5. I heard.
What about? Well, it would probably be Brunson, OG, Bridges, Randle, and Robinson.
What I saw was Brunson, DiVincenzo, Bridges, OG, Randle.
No,
that's what I saw.
Yeah, I've seen you got to bring DiVincenzo and Hart off the bench because you need some scoring power, you need some energy off the bench. I think that would be your best starting lineup for them right now. But we'll see if they decide to move on from Julius Randle because there's no way they're keeping Hartenstein. He's probably gonna get $100 million, guys.
Yeah. David said the Pistons should trade for Bradley Beal.
That's another troll job.
Yeah, he's trolling us. He's trolling us tonight.
Yeah. All right. So Reid, your boy Zach Edey, 9th pick overall. How did you like the Zach Edey to Memphis move?
I mean, listen. More power to him. I'm shocked to be. I thought he was going to go in the first round. I did not think it was going to be a lottery pick. So I was a little shocked on that. But Memphis, they needed help. Jaren Jackson isn't really, built. He's not really built as a center. He's more of a power forward. So grabbing a guy like that, he can step in and fill, that center role that they've been missing since Steven Adams was gone. Zach Edey obviously can get the rebounds, being 7'4" or whatever he is. The thing I worry about with him is just, as you saw in college, is he has no gas tank. So if he can get some NBA conditioning in him and kind of figure out how to last at least, I don't know, I would say 30 minutes a game. I think he'll be fine. But yeah, a good pick. It was definitely a pick. They definitely picked somebody that they needed because they're pretty full everywhere else. I mean, you got Bane, you have Ja, Jaren Jack. So Edey fills that role for the rebounding and it takes a lot of pressure off of Triple J. So I liked it. Again, I was baffled that he went in the first or the top 10 or top 15. Is that the lottery is 15, right?
Oh yeah, 14.
14. So I think ultimately they took Zach Edey because Klingon went just before him at 7 to Portland. I think they ultimately wanted him, but I think they took Zach Edey because they know they needed a big center and not really anybody after those two. It kind of just falls off. But like they said on the broadcast yesterday, if this was 20 years ago, those guys are 1 and 2, Klingon and Edey. But now
yeah, the game has changed
so much.
It's crazy. I like the pick. I know Memphis really probably wanted Klingon, but they didn't want to trade down to get him. So I mean, it's a good spot for him. He's not gonna have to do much in Memphis. They get a healthy roster back. He can defend. He's shown he can move. He doesn't foul a lot. He stayed out of foul trouble in college. He's shown you he has the conditioning. So I think it's perfect for what Memphis wants to do. Just happy for Zach Edey, man. Great job of bouncing back to back-to-back National Player of the Year awards, and he goes to a team who's young. He'll fit in very well. Ja was pretty happy to get him. So I think
he posted was hilarious.
Yeah, the post with from Rush Hour.
The Rush Hour post.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to be able to do that catch and hook that he gets all the time. I wonder if he's going to be able to do it against NBA centers.
It kind of reminds me like his game. He would have been perfect when Yao Ming was first in the NBA. Yeah. He was like back then. It would have been perfect. But too bad he's not. But I think he'll find his niche and figure it out. He's tall enough. There's no way he's going to be a solid NBA player.
Yeah, he needs to develop that 15-footer, develop a jump shot instead of just getting all a hook. He's gonna have to learn to shoot. So yeah, I like that move for him. All right, so Adrian, Bronny James, 55th overall to the Lakers to play with his dad. They got connect, fell to him at 17. Bronny James in the second round. How'd you like the Bronny James move?
First and foremost, I want to say a great pick by the Lakers to get Dalton Connect. Fell all the way down to 17. I think that's a great move by the Lakers. Get a player that can come in, help you contribute right now. As far as Bronny James, I mean, come on, guys. We all seen it coming. I just talked to you guys about it ago when I got off work and seen that the Lakers had drafted him. Apparently, there was a rumor out there. Rich Paul told everybody don't draft him, and then we knew that was signal that he's going to the Lakers. So I mean, it doesn't really tell you anything, but we seen this coming. NBA, they got JJ Redick. Now they got Bronny and LeBron James. It's gonna be a circus in LA this season, and if the pressure wasn't already ramped up enough, it's gonna be even good. And I like Bronny as a player. Like him as a player. I think he has a long way to go to be a really, really good NBA player. But what I will say is he's way more far ahead than his dad was in terms of shooting the basketball. But I do think going back to college one more year would have definitely helped his game and elevated him. But just the fact of being LeBron's son, it elevated him and got him drafted. Let's just be honest. It's politics in the game, and we know this is what the NBA wanted. Everybody wanted, and we'll see what happens. But it's gonna be a circus in LA. JJ Redick, first year head coach. Bronny James there. Like I said, told you guys, I think the Lakers are a good, solid team with this roster. They're just an average team right now. They're not great and they're not terrible. So it's gonna be a lot of pressure, man. I just would prefer them to see go somewhere else where it's not the spotlight's not on him. But I guess he's ready for it. He showed that he can handle it, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think he's a good NBA player, but I just don't think he's NBA ready yet.
Yeah, I mean, the writing was on the wall. Nobody was going to take him. I mean, he's not NBA ready, as Adrian was saying, and ultimately, you knew once the Lakers had 55, they were gonna. You knew that they were gonna pull some sort of trick where it was like, if you pick him, we saw it with the Pistons and Austin Reeves. He said, "Don't, I'm not coming to play in Detroit. I already have a free agent or an unrestricted free agent or drafted free agent signing with the Lakers. So I'm going to go there." One of my hated rivals in the NBA. I can't stand that guy now after all the shit he's talked about the Pistons, him and Jalen Green. But yeah, I just think the writing was on the wall. Everybody knew it was going to happen. So I think people just kind of stayed away from it. They know that he's not going to be that LeBron James piece. He's 6'2". He can shoot the ball great, but ultimately I think he's going to be a bench guy, a guy that comes off the bench. He'll probably start in some sort of Laker game this year just because of the theatrics of it and how much they love it in LA, and LeBron's there and he runs the show in LA. So as I said to you guys before, I think it's hilarious. He got his son running the point and he got his co-host running the team. So it'll be, like Adrian said, circus in LA, but that's what they want. It's La La Land for a reason.
Yeah, and congrats to LeBron for them being able to accomplish it. So it's an amazing accomplishment, man. Did we think he'd be able to play it long enough to see his son make it to the NBA? It's crazy, but
is he going to make it long enough for Bryce to get in the NBA at this point?
Yeah, I think Bryce is a senior in high school this year, I believe.
Yeah, Bryce. I believe Bryce is on a trajectory to be the better player.
So yeah.
It says Bronny will be in the G League. He won't play.
No, he will play because
they'll make sure
LeBron's
he gets in a couple games at least.
Yeah. I think just him going back to college one more year would have helped him out tremendously. If he went back next season, had a strong season, made the tournament, he probably would have been a top 3, top 5 pick next year. But I mean, regardless of what it all worked out. So
you know what I think is going to happen too. It's, you guys remember when Lonzo got drafted by the Lakers back in his rookie year, and guys right off the bat were attacking him and going right at him. I think that's exactly what is going to happen to Bronny. Yep. As soon as guys see it, they're going to be like a shark and smell fish, smell blood in the water.
Agreed. You think he plays heavy minutes to start the season, or you think he'll probably get a couple minutes a game?
I think he'll start off in the G League, I think, and then they'll find a way at some point in the season to bring him up, or wait for like a marquee game or something to bring him up and get him 10, 12 minutes a game. We also got to see what the Lakers do with the rest of the roster, if they're going to be able to make any moves, because D'Angelo Russell's on a player option, but he'll probably decline that. So we'll see what happens. But
Before or after the All-Star game, you think?
I'll say I'll go after.
Yeah, I say after.
All right, so yeah, we'll definitely be seeing them in summer league. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Lakers' first summer league game is against Houston here in a week or two. So we'll definitely be seeing them out there in the summer league. All right, so yeah, I did want to get some WNBA in here. I wanted to get you guys' opinion. So we're just about halfway through the WNBA season, 40 games. I think we're like 17, 18 games in. Yeah, I want to get you guys' opinion. Who's the WNBA Rookie of the Year so far? You think it's Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark? Chicago's currently 6-9. Indiana's 7-11. The Fever up on Chicago in the series. They're up 2-1 on them. So Reid, who do you think's who you guys' WNBA Rookie of the Year so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's both these ladies are playing an incredible season. Obviously, Angel Reese is averaging a double-double. Her team's playing really well. I think she has the better team around her ultimately. It's really just Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston really on the Fever. I think ultimately right now, if you're going to go off stats, people are going to look at the double-doubles and say Angel Reese. I do think, though, if you look at MVPs, I think Caitlin Clark's a little bit more important to her team. Again, she's led him to the charge. The last time they played the Sky, Angel Reese obviously dominated. I think she had like 23 and 13 or something crazy like that. Caitlin Clark just didn't shoot the ball enough, in my opinion. I think that she kind of was trying to get her team too involved. She needed to shoot the ball a little more. She still did well. I think Caitlin Clark had 17 and 13 or something like that. She still had a double-double that game. So I think, it all comes down to team behind it. My only thing with Angel Reese is a lot of the times when she gets rebounds, it's off of shots where she'll shoot and miss, get her own rebound back, and does it a few times. So her shot percentage obviously isn't great. So do you want to call it number inflating? No, because it's just part of the game. It's just the ball doesn't go in and she happens to get the rebound. So personally for me, I think Caitlin Clark's the MVP just because I think she's better for her team overall. And that's what an MVP should be, is the most valuable player on the team. But I do think Angel Reese is very close because, again, averaging a double-double as a rookie is still very, very impressive. So I think it's literally like neck and neck. It's like every game they play, it's like one person just keeps going like this. So I don't know how they're going to decide it, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, Reid made all the good points. I mean, it's neck and neck right now. I know the both teams didn't start the season off well at all, but you could tell the Sky is starting to get some confidence. They're a young team, just like the Fever, getting some confidence, starting to play well, and it seems to come together for both teams at the right time. But Reid's going with Caitlin Clark, but I'm going with my girl Angel Reese. I like the energy she plays with, and she's averaging 13 and 11. Had a great game against the Fever. Her team, it's slightly a little better, but where I will give her the slight edge is the fact that she's playing down in the post with some of these older women that dominant, Alyssa Thomas, Nafisia Collier, Dawana Bonner. These girls are banging with her. And she's holding her own right now. She's a rookie, and she's playing with some energy. I like the way the Sky are playing right now. Their coaches got some energy. I just like the team. I would just, if I had to flip a coin, I'm just going to take Angel Reese, but you can't go wrong with Caitlin Clark. I mean, they're both having great rookie seasons, and I think ultimately these two teams will become elite in the WNBA in the next few years because these ladies will both be superstars.
Yeah, it's so tight right now, such a tight race. You pretty much gotta see how the rest of the season plays out. I think they got one more matchup against each other, and I think it's like 22, 23 games left or something like that. Because as of right now, it's just too close to tell. So we got to just let the thing play itself out. Or who knows? They might even get a co-rookie of the year thing. They might share it. Who knows?
Yeah. The Sky are currently playing the defending champs, the Las Vegas Aces at home right now, and the Aces are up 91-80 currently right now. So
yeah, and I know the Fever play Seattle tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, at 10. Yep.
Yeah. So if you look at the times that they've played, Clark's gone 11 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists in the first game, 23, 8, and 9, and then 17, 6, and 13. And then Angel Reese went in the first game, she went 8 points, 13 rebounds, 1 assist. Second game, she went 11, 13, and 5. And then the third game, like I said, she went off 25, 16, and 1. So when they play each other, it's so even. Like it's like must-watch TV. Those have to be one of the highest rated I was going to say episodes. One of those highest rated games to watch.
Yeah. Their last two games against each other have been the two highest rated WNBA games for sure.
Don't forget the only thing too. The only
Access. Caitlin is getting in a groove. Hopefully, WNBA can continue to get better so I can have another sport to care about.
Especially right now when there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
Like, no sports going on.
My thing with WM2 is starting to grow. I can't wait till we're actually able to get more than 12 teams. We need at least at least 16 to 20 teams. I mean, so we even need our team back in Detroit. Bring back the shock. We could all mob down there to the game, man.
It might be better than the Pistons. If
you know what I mean? So I mean they are getting
just keep Boris away from them.
Yeah, right.
They are getting a team next season in Golden State. Called the Golden State Valkyrie, I believe. So I mean, it's starting to grow. I enjoy watching women's basketball. I think a lot of it's more. Some of the women are a lot more fundamental than some of the men that are playing. It's a little more organized. I'm not as athletic, but it's good quality of basketball. I'm enjoying it.
Angel Reese is 18 points, 11 rebounds right now.
Okay. Oh, another good performance. I mean, he's going to be in the loss, but she still put a good number.
Her other Carter and Mabray, I don't know how you say it, 21, 6 and 3, and 25 and 4.
Holy smokes!
What does Mabry got? I got her on a parlay.
21.6 assists, 3 assists, 6 rebounds.
That's Raj's girl right there.
She normally comes through for me. Yeah. So yeah, I think they are gonna. The WNBA game is growing. I think there are going to be more expansion teams for sure, because the game's only going to get bigger. Especially, I think even when a guy like LeBron retires, he's either going to have ownership of an NBA or WNBA team or something like that. I can see it.
Probably have both.
Absolutely.
Right. I can see that. And I think Vegas is going to get a men's NBA team as well.
So. Of course.
Vegas
and Seattle back. Yeah. Those are the two cities we need.
For sure. So NHL draft tomorrow, Reid. Who do you see the Red Wings doing tomorrow? Or do you think they're going to trade out of it?
Well, they were talking about, Steve Yzerman traded away 2 players. One of them was Jake Wallman, who was a solid player for the Wings last season. He gave him away and with a second-round pick and picked up a prospect. It was a kind of a weird trade. Everybody didn't know what he was doing, but it's Steve Yzerman, so he's always lurking in the shadows, Godfather style. He made someone an offer they can't refuse, I'm sure, and got rid of that. So hopefully he a guy that I like is Sam Reinhart. He played for Florida. He's a young guy, 28, 29 years old. I think he had 40 goals last season, something like that. So I know Stamkos train is coming around. He's a free agent, though. So, they have a little bit of money working with. I think $33 million. Ultimately, I think at this point, you have good prospects in your Nate Danielsons, your Marco Kaspers. Edvinsson got called up. They have that other guy, Pilika. He's another, I think that's how you say his last name. He's another defenseman from Sweden. He scored like 5 goals in the World Juniors. He's supposed to be really good. So I think you're fine on prospects right now. Whatever you can get for 15, I would, see if you could use that to trade with a team. I know that there's talks on Draisaitl being traded from the Oilers. If you could go get Draisaitl, I know it costs a lot more than the 15th overall pick in the first round, obviously, but you could send someone over there, someone on the team over there, and maybe some prospects, and go get Draisaitl along with that 15th pick. I'd be fine with it. I ultimately don't think they're not going to use it. I do think that Steve Yzerman has something up his sleeve. He's brewing a potion. He's going to somehow use that 15th pick and go get somebody or get a better prospect for it. Because again, when you're picking 15th in the NHL draft, there's 28 teams or something like that. It just doesn't make sense to have a guy that's just going to be sitting in the minors. They again, it's like NBA. You shot in the dark after you get through like the top 3 guys.
Yeah, Reid, you're the Red Wings guy. I think Yzerman needs to make a splash, something to improve, especially the goaltending. It's what the main thing the Red Wings have been concerned about. Reading something earlier with John Gibson from Anaheim. He's making a little over $6 million over the next 3 years. You could go get him. Probably have to make a trade, and then maybe go get Stamkos. I think he'll be a little cheaper. He'll be definitely cheaper than trying to get Draisaitl. And they've been trying to get him for years, even years back. So I think that's a way to make a move. And then Edmonton's kind of in disarray right now. all Red Wing fans would be happy right now that Ken Holland didn't win a cup in Edmonton, and he's they parted ways with him. So that's a good thing. But they got $32 million in cap space, so you got to make some splashes, got to make some moves, and this team has to be improved, especially how far we are into the rebuild with this team right now.
The only thing I don't like about the Anaheim goalie is he's getting older. He's 30, I think 31, 32. I would still kind of run it back with Lyon and not Husso. Who's the other guy they had? Reimer. So I would still try and keep those goalies for right now. I think if you get another player that can score you goals, if you get a guy that's another 40 goal scorer or something, and you're hoping that DeBrincat goes back to what he was when he was in Chicago. He had he had a hot spurt there for a minute with the Wings. You're hoping that he comes back and plays a little bit better. But I think if you add a Sam Reinhart, or I mean, if you do pick up Stamkos, I'd be fine with it. But again, he's a guy who's 34 years old. I don't know if I really necessarily think that he's going to be a guy that's he'll help you for sure, but he might be on the downswing at 2 years down the road. So I'd be fine with it because I think it would help you make the playoffs next year, but I don't know if it would make enough noise to get to a Stanley Cup, unlike a guy who's like younger, like a Reinhart again. So goaltending, I think, is okay for the moment, but I'll pump the brakes on it for a minute.
Yeah. So we gotta see what they do in this draft tomorrow. Yeah, I agree with you, Reid. Trade that 15 pick. No need to bring in a young prospect. Trade for somebody that can help now, because I mean it's playoff or bust for the Wings next year. They missed the playoffs again. Lalone got to be gone, and Stevie Y's gonna have to be on the hot seat at that point for missing the playoffs so many years in a row. So yeah, we'll see what they do. See what they do tomorrow. All right, so I wanted to get some quick Tigers in here, not discussing. Just wanted to get our opinion on the game tonight. Tigers, they should first pitch should be here in about 45 minutes. Flaherty's on the mound. Start a 4-game series in Anaheim. So Adrian, do the Tigers win tonight?
No, they don't win tonight.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet too. They don't win tonight. The pitcher that they're going up against, I believe, has like a 2 ERA or 2.15 ERA or something like that. Although he's only had 2 starts, but it's the Tigers. They're traveling out west. They never give me hope. So no, I don't think they win.
Okay, Reid over under on 6 strikeouts for Flaherty tonight.
I believe I have a parlay and I took him over. I still think Flaherty gets it done because the Angels aren't good offensively either. So I still think he can get that done.
Okay, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Verlin keeps raking. Verlin's been hitting, one of the few guys that's had some pop in his bat. So we'll see. All right, yeah. My last thing here: UFC this Saturday. You got in the main event, you got Pereira and I keep messing this guy's name.
Jerry
Prohaska. Okay, Reid. Who like in the main event this Saturday?
Yeah, this is Pereira Prohaska part 2. They fought each other before. Pereira won. They're both guys that picked up the slack for the Chandler McGregor fight. So Alex Pereira, he's been on fire. He's been my guy. I like Prohaska a lot too. I think he brings a certain element to the UFC game. But ultimately, I just think Alex is far more talented and a better fighter. I just think that he knows what he has to do. I don't know if you guys saw the joke where Prohaska said that he prays to some shaman or something like that to win the fight. So I don't know. I just think Pereira is an absolute different animal. He's probably one of the best fighters we've seen since John Jones, in my opinion. Pound for pound, he's ran through all these divisions. Nobody thought he was going to do it. So ultimately, I think that he's gonna end up winning by knockout. I'll say around 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go. I know he's taking it. They're both taking this fight on short notice. I'm disappointed that we don't get to see Chandler and McGregor. Who knows if we'll ever see that fight? But I'm going to take Pereira. I think he knocks him out in the second round. Guy's a beast, straight power. So I think it'll be a good event. But he knocks him out in the second round.
Yeah, I like Pereira in this one as well. And beat him in the first round. I think he beats him again. Pereira's minus 150 on the money line, and Jerry's plus 125. So, yeah. Yes, sir. All right. Well, anything else you guys want to add before we get up out of here?
No, good show. Slow time right now in sports, gentlemen.
Yeah, we're hitting a dead spot. Yeah. Lions training camp coming up. So I'll be excited for that. I'll be working down at early mornings for the Lions training camp coming up. So That's I think like middle of July, somewhere middle to end of July. I think they're out
or something like that.
Yeah, I think around there. So that'll be exciting. Yeah, hopefully it starts picking up again. And then Summer League, do we know when? So you said it starts in a week. Do you know when the Pistons' first game is?
I've got to check. I don't know if it came out yet. Let's double check.
Yeah, I'll have Adrian look that up. We still need you to come up with them Tigers tickets for us too.
Yeah, I'll ask about those and see if I can get them in advance. I'll talk to my boss about it and get a day together for the boys. I'm always hesitant to go because I've worked a few games this year too, and every one I've gone down to they lost. Every one I don't go to they win. So I'm a little hesitant to go. I'd like to go to one where I might know they're going to win.
Okay, yeah, I'm at the catch game coming up here soon, especially July. Birthday's July 25th, so try to catch something in July.
The Vegas Summer League tips off July 12th, so we got like 2 weeks.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Who you know the Pistons pop it off against?
Let's double check and see. I think they just dropped it. Here we go. They are not playing two. Sorry, guys, give me a sec.
I feel like the Pistons never play Summer League games. Like I feel like they play 5 or they play 3 and everybody else plays like 6.
Yeah, they haven't released them yet. All they have is like the they have they do the Summer League in like Salt Lake City and Cali. They have those games out, but they don't have these games yet.
I'm just curious to know who's going to be on the team. Obviously, you're going to get your 2 draft picks are going to play. I wonder if they're going to have Asar out there since he missed a lot of the season. Obviously, Duran, Ivy, and Cade aren't going to be playing. So
yeah, I would assume Asar would be out there for sure.
Yeah, he better play. You got
to think of guys that got drafted last year, and then obviously the guys drafted this year. But there's certain guys last year that probably won't.
Sasser probably plays, I think.
Yeah. Wemby's obviously not playing. Who else was in that? I can't even think of who was in that draft after Wemby. But I don't think any of those guys. I think like if they're a big star, they're not playing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Holly needs those reps. 18, about to be 19. He needs those reps for sure.
Yes, sir.
I just want to see if they come out and shoot. That's all.
For sure. Absolutely. All right. Well, yeah, there it is. Good show, fellas. Yes, slower time. So, yeah, that's all we got. 42-minute show right there. but good stuff. Make sure everybody watching. Make sure you guys like the video. Subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you guys next week, man. Sports Update.
See you, boys. Peace.